Hi, today I'm going to tell you about simple costing and how that allows you to allocate indirect costs to your product. I want to first start off with a quote from Natasha Munson. In the book Invest Your Way to Riches, Natasha Munson says, "Money, like emotions, is something you must control to keep your life on the right track." I believe this is a great quote because it defines kind of how we react to our finances. A lot of times if we're stressed, and money will cause those stress problems, and in relationships and marriages that also comes back to get you. So today I want to tell you how you can allocate your indirect costs using the simple costing structure. I took cost accounting 2, or managerial accounting 2 last semester, and I'm now in cost accounting this semester. And in both classes, she's taught us how to take your indirect costs and use your direct costs to find an overhead rate and then come up with a total overhead for a product. So today I want to show you how to implement the 7 steps of product costing that are used in this process. First, I want to go over some quick definitions. I also use this image here, this glacier image, because a lot of times in our class, Ms. Pylan, she explains it as a glacier kind of concept, because you have like your direct costs, which are like the ones that are visible, that you know go directly to your product when you're using them. And then you have your indirect costs, which are kind of hidden. You may not know that they're being like allocated to your product, like it may be administration, managerial type costs, you know, or something like that, or electricity that's being used like in another building. And so, but you still have to allocate those to your product. You still have to know how much it's costing for that. So, and then you take both of these and you add those together and you get your total overhead from these 2 costs. So the direct costs are usually pretty simple. You're going to know exactly what the rate is that you're being given. The indirect costs are going to usually be in a total, and you're going to have to split it up and be able to allocate it to the product that you're going for. So that's kind of just a basic definition of what you're going to need to know to be able to understand this. So in here, this is kind of smaller than what I thought it was going to be, but we have your steps that you're going to need for allocating. There's a 7-step process. So I just want to start off with step 1, which you're just going to take. Step 1, you're just going to identify the product that you want to find the cost for. So if you're trying to cost out a product like maybe a tennis shoe, you're going to have direct materials. They're going to be like the laces, the rubber, stuff like that. You're going to know exactly how much you paid for it. Then you're going to want to find the indirect materials. So the indirect materials are going to be your management costs, your administration, maybe customer service costs. And then you're going to want to go on to step 2. Step 2 is going to identify your direct costs, which your direct costs are going to be your denominator. Then you're going to want to go ahead on step 3, and you're going to find your numerator, which is going to be your indirect cost pools. Your indirect cost pools are going to usually be multiple ones. In simple costing, though, we just go for 1 indirect cost pool and 1 direct cost pool, or direct base. So then in step 4, you're going to take, step 4 is, I don't know if I have it on here or not. Yeah, the one's up here. You're going to take your indirect cost pool, and you're going to use that to compute the rate. So you take your indirect cost pool, I'm going to write that on the board real quick so you don't see it. You have your indirect costs, and you're going to divide them by your direct cost, which is usually going to be direct labor hours. And that's going to give you your overhead rate, which is usually like maybe $5 or something. And then you're going to take that, take your overhead rate, and in step 5, you're going to multiply your overhead rate as rate times the base, which is your denominator up here usually. So you're going to take your rate times your base, and that will give you your total indirect costs for the job for a specific product. Indirect cost for product. And so that would be how you would end up costing your product to get the indirect costs. So then, for step That ends up being step 6. And then in step 7, you're going to take your indirect cost for your product and add it together with your direct cost. So just take your indirect overhead plus your direct overhead, and that'll give you your total at the end. So now that you have a kind of quick idea of how to do this, I'm just going to tell you why I think it's important that that God wants us to use this. So in Luke 16:8-12, it says, "The master commended the dishonest manager because he had acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than are the people of the light. I tell you, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourselves, so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you've not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you the property of your own?" This is about a manager and his employees and how they charge people different prices for the products they've bought. And I just think it's really important because you have to be able to trust the people you're dealing with money. So I hope now that you understand why this is important for managers to use, and I'm glad that you allowed me to share this with you, even though I know that it was kind of probably excruciating to go through and listen to. So thank you.